Glock 21, 45 ACP, sugar-free energy drinks, stopping power, America! The Glock 21 is the thick version of Gaston's magnum opus. Thick like 27 BMI and a pair of yoga pants that only do squats, hanging on for dear life. Patriotically thick like torpedo-chested pinups who inspired our boys to storm the beaches of Normandy under a hail of 8mm Mauser screaming death as they fly through the eerily calm air on June 6th. But not just thick, thick and light. Muhammad Ali floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Big bore rounds in a lightweight package. 2 world wars meets tricked out Civic. Possibly the most American handgun ever made. When the Glock 21 is strapped to the hip of a gunslinger, it radiates the calm superiority of a professional boxer touching gloves with a noodle-armed rank amateur who talks a good game but hits with all the eye-rolling impotence of a soy-fueled blue checkmark finally having to put his money where his mouth is. It's everything an American needs to stop any thug foolish enough to kick in the door of a trained shooter's house at 2 in the morning. Because the Glock 21 isn't just powerful, it isn't just light, it's also reliable to a fault. Because the Glock 21, like the 17 that it originates from, is designed to do precisely one thing: reliably put holes in a target every single time that trigger is pulled. It's a semi-automatic Plan B, quietly sitting on a nightstand that you pray you'll never need, but know that if you have to, it'll do the job. But enough euphemisms and metaphors. What exactly is the Glock 21? The Glock 21 Gen 5 MOS handgun is a semi-automatic, lock-breech, magazine-fed handgun chambered in the greatest caliber ever to grace the earth, 45 ACP. Now, Sammy tells us that ACP stands for Automatic Colt Pistol, since the round was invented by John Moses Browning, God bless him, for his then prototype of what would eventually become the Colt M1911, but I think that's incorrect. In my expert opinion, the beefy 230 grain rounds ACP moniker is actually an acronym for American Champion Power, because we won every world war we've fielded it in. I mean, in the past, if shooters wanted to wield this peerless pistol projectile, they had to choose power over capacity. But the engineers at Glock, in true American spirit, said the hell with that. They crammed 13+1 rounds of Liberty into each steel-lined polymer magazine for the Glock 21. Nearly doubling the round's original host's capacity. And if 13 rounds of freedom weren't enough for you, the latest version of the Glock 21 ships with 3 magazines in the box. Plus, extended magazines are available for the gun that kick the round count up to 26 and even 30 rounds of ammo. Although Glocks are known for their simplicity of use, that doesn't mean the guns aren't loaded with excellent features. For example, the new Glock 21 ships with 3 interchangeable back straps to provide the perfect fit for shooters of varying sizes, and the latest version even includes a sight plate with an RMR footprint. The mount is excellently designed, as it doesn't preclude the use of the iron sights, as it's mounted just ahead of the rear sights. Speaking of which, the Glock 21 still ships with the same post and notch white outline and white dot polymer sights that Glocks are known for. Are they precision bullseye sights? No. They're hard-use combat and defensive sights for hitting man-sized targets. Which doesn't mean the gun isn't accurate, far from it. In my testing, the Glock 21 was able to make a ragged hole at 15 yards when fired from a rest with iron sights. When I installed the Trigicon RMR, I was able to reproduce those results at a staggering 25 yards. Other notable features include a dust cover with a horizontal cut for installing a tactical lighter laser, and an aggressively textured grip that provides a solid purchase on the gun, even when it's wet or oily. Now lastly, the Glock 21 uses the same safety trigger that all Glocks have, further simplifying its employment when a shooter needs it most. All right, let's get to reliability. Now you can go ahead and skip this if you want, because spoiler alert, the gun runs. I fired a mix of 500 rounds of 230 grain American Eagle Full Metal Jacket, Hornady's Critical Defense, Golden Sabers, Federal Hydra Shocks, and even some vintage wad cutters through the Glock 21 without a single malfunction. If the AK-47 were chambered in 45 ACP, it would be a Glock 21. Yes, it's that good. And while I limited the majority of my shooting to realistic defensive distances, I also punished some steel targets from shootsteel.com at 100 yards offhand. And the only difference in shooting at that distance versus close range is having to aim towards the top of the target, since 45 ACP is the ballistic equivalent of a thrown ashtray. So what's my verdict? Well, do you love America, liberty, and the 1911, but you want more than 7 rounds in a magazine? Buy the Glock 21. Equipped with a proper light, defensive ammo, and a spare magazine, it is the perfect home defense tool. You might disagree. You know what? That's fine. This is America. You're entitled to whatever incorrect opinion you might have. Thanks, guys. For Ammo Land, I'm Jim Grant. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.